Ukula bebyo wati dobuingi Ibisebo wapangiri obuingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama Kutituwa na basiyani Chagwa katuse Amita pendwa ya vintu ifisume vyoto kula kuibukisha Kana depochimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Awazunga watita katongi na kula kuibukisha kateka Kaibuku muna kapona Nese kosiove pamenso Yangu ama umebaya Kiyaba Kiyaba ume
Konke mili moshove
baba ume ale filamba yena minta pengo sile eti kume mo pulo dolole avale lilo wingi
ise kwa wingi mwakwete ise so wingi mwakwete mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katusi muchi motege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatu jatuleli lake Mupanga chiba
Penda Mupanga mwine Kole mwine Ide nalila
Ukula bebyo wati dobuingi Ibisebo wapangiri obuingi Ukuchinjo lusako kumoneko busaka Mama Kutituwa na basiyani Chagwa
They trusted in God. Lesali bakosha bakana okusumina maisha abengi shinoshikana mumona nguma politics abantu balanga folupia balatuka naba bakusha balatuka na ekleza bamubalingira fenchito yabo bashikofu apeshiko na balanda balebo obutego atawe fimulefu amona ololupapulo tefyo echo tukendera pa 28 tuko abulefyongo twaliendapo kuli ba mwana wasa we walked nomba kapokola spokesperson ati watu bakesa ni mfuti bakesa mukututinya esa miberero lusemwa chepa sana. Amen. We shall stand up for what is right. Ba bishop mulandu balanda mwabatuka balelande chishinga mutu webe nishi mule batukira uyu ndangota eba kateka atimonanga wali bomba tetulela nda ukala sondafi bombe shobupera abantu ifi mwala mutuka ba bishop chama balande spokesperson apele bakusondere webele tukesa na nifunde shule konka are you a politician imutaba mikate uyu alanda nkatuma abantu 15,000 bakesa myumoko yona yamba kadaism tabalebeka tanomba muleni Daniel naba nankwe tabati nine tabaile sumino okuya mukunwa wine ya ku State House. Panemfu mtu asefishe mailo, the King of Kings, he doesn't rule from State House. He doesn't rule from palaces. He rules from the cross. And this is the cross here to listen. Nokulande chinka kwa bulomwenso. Andrew and companions, bali vepaya. Nishi, ififine tule chitana lelo, bali lande chinka, icho Kristo wa bashirile, babepaila. Go ahead, shoot, intimidate, take away all our rights. But we shall speak the truth. Ero kuliba presentation ingatemwa ayama funde kuchikeni kuishiwi the voice of reason. Murupa pulefe muleto senda badilanda basambi mafuni loba lazima shani echo tule imela nimbi mwala posa kwa mano labeni kwa abantu balefwanensa labantu ababafuresha baifwara tabafuresha abantu abatwala amataba bala twashana abana ba ku university bala ali mashani ino November yala pota bale byala bale funya ku isefi yakubyala abantu bale sendame nsala abantu bale mona uko abana babo bale chula na tukwata bashimayi naba 96 2000 tababa folesha kuyu bize tukwisoko konsanga mwalolekesha aba abantu bale kabiro kubalandira kuno kubapele chibalingile ichichi ntinya ukula bikwika kwa mafunde ashiringile tatwake kale tondolo efe tufiro kuchito mwina Kristo onsa ba Archbishop chama bakalamba babashikofu onsa mu Zambia bali Twitter tutukendo kwabula ifyongo ndebukisha ile myaka twali abantu mendo twaliendele pona muno mwina mukitwe n'abana ba CBU palupapulo ba mwana wasa balefa batwale twaliendele bali umfwile bachulo bali umfwile ba isi wabo twishibe nomba tuwafira no kushanga bali fanga tabafa twashika nabo bene muleyibukisha biuten twalilandire bali umfwile ngai mwe chakosa ero mo bene mwali kulu bali rospadile enshita umfwene vya abantu balelanda ifwe uchikosele shakwa Daniel no Andrew twakula imina pachinga abo mwayingishe nchito abana wine ku State House abasekela munga ababalelia na mumfu abalesenda mina ama vegetables and they were healthier than those abaleno wine yapaka shitaka nono mwibukishe fo tutekwa nemfumu yasha mfumu kosi yamakosi ubufumu bwenu bwachimpelesha ni 5 years bamonga mwashi na 3 basa tabafike na kuli 5 so mukuipifya mule mfwiro kufayo bwakwalesa ilo tulelanda tatu abanga abanensuba nibashima pe balefano tufuro mu ma politics teve to abaifu tatu akeserusha bu minister bushana ifo lyonse tubakulu bali washinka tulandila abalanda efyo ine mbwene tuipela wonse ero waipela wonse okutumika lesa ngoyuna mayo na lesala mona nokupala la pala. So today we are being invited na momwe.
The dialogue on the constitutional reforms has failed. The Oasis Forum regrets to inform the public that it decided to pull out of the dialogue on the constitution amendment process when it became clear that the government was adamant on its position to continue with an illegality. It is for this reason that on the 29th November 2025, following its sitting, the Oasis Forum wrote to the Republican president on its principled stance on the matter, which later was delivered to the smaller team representing government on the 30th of November 2025. We do not believe that dialogue is tenable when the underlying concerns remain unaddressed. Our concerns were and are as follows. 1. Illegality of the process. The current process is in breach of the orders of the Constitutional Court. Therefore, continuing the process based on Bill number 7, which the government insists on, is effectively rubber stamping Bill number 7, whose initiation the Constitutional Court declared a nullity due to a lack of mandatory broad public consultations in the framing of the proposed amendments. The report and ensuing bill from the wake of the technical committee will in itself be illegal. Number 2, lack of legal framework and independence. The work of the technical committee lacks a legal framework to ensure its independence and public accountability, risking undue executive influence over what should be a citizen-driven process. Number 3, restrictive terms of reference. The terms of reference unilaterally prescribed by the government restrict citizens' submissions to the same clauses in Bill number 7, effectively resurrecting an illegality, election-centered agenda, and precluding a holistic reform. Failure to withdraw Bill number 7. Despite the Constitutional Court nullifying the initiation of Bill number 7 of 2025, the bill remains before the National Assembly, further entrenching an illegitimacy process. Tying to the 2026 electoral timelines. Rushing the reform process by tying its timelines to the 2026 general elections compromises inclusivity and national consensus, diverting agents from critical immediate needs like the cost of living, water shortages, and employment. There is no justification in whatsoever why the supreme law of the land must be amended in a rushed manner, less than 30 days, as though there is no tomorrow. Dialogue outcomes. Government intend to proceed. Despite presenting these profound and resolved concerns, our dialogue, including the meeting with the President, has yielded nothing. The government remains bent on proceeding with the current illegal and flawed process and has refused to withdraw Bill number 7 from Parliament formally. We reaffirm our non-negotiable preconditions for any meaningful dialogue. 1, Bill number 7 must be formally withdrawn from Parliament. 2, a fresh constitutional reforms process must be commenced, supported by legal safeguards, and be genuinely inclusive, not rushed, and holistic. Should this be attended to by government, we remain available to return to the dialogue table. Now a call to action for all Zambians. The refusal by the government to heed advice on withdrawing the illegal Bill number 7 or offering alternative legally sound options is a serious threat to the integrity of the Zambia's foundational law and may result in anarchy. The government's current approach demonstrates an apparent lack of interest in genuine, people-driven dialogue. We therefore call upon all Zambians to stand in defense of constitutionalism, the rule of law, and good governance. We only have one Zambia. The Oasis Forum will continue to use all available legal means and possible engagement of the international community to ensure that government withdraws Bill number 7, which threatens our national values and principles of democracy, as well as constitutionalism, good governance, and integrity. We urge the government of the Republic of Zambia to withdraw Bill number 7 immediately and commence a legitimate, transparent, and people-driven constitutional reform process where amendments will be framed by the owners and not by the government. We urge members of the public to join campaign against Bill.
Yes, Oasis Forum says join the campaign against Bill 7. Join the campaign against Bill 7. Welcome to today's broadcast. I'll be assisted by Queen Pumulos Tumbeko. She's president of the New Era Democratic Party, but she's based here in the United States. She's just setting up, and I can see she's in the studio. Mama, put your phone on landscape. Good day, but you can greet our people as you are setting that up. You can greet our people as you are setting up. Okay, I want you to put it in landscape, but you can begin.
Greetings, Zambia. How is everybody? I'm honored to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please share. Invite everybody, tag somebody, share with somebody. It's going to be an interesting day and interesting few days as we are going to witness historical moments in our country as pertaining to the Constitution, which is the law of the land. And we are, as a country, we are at a pivotal moment where we are going to see if our judiciary and our parliament will really uphold the Constitution which they swore.
Thank you very much. That's
thank you.
Queen Pumi. She runs her own blog, and she's president of the New Era Democratic Party. We'll be discussing the issue of Bill 7. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing Bill 7. You remember that the president, it starts all in March 8th. He's in Kasama, he's officiating at a ceremony, Women's Day, and he makes a profound announcement that there is a draft constitution ready and available. And that shocks the country because there's no process. Remember when Minister of Legal Affairs, Minister of Justice at the time, Mulambo Haimbe, said he was going to start a process, that he was going to receive submissions, and that there will be a technical committee that will be set up, and then there will be a consultative process that will go across the country. From nowhere, we just heard this announcement, and the announcement was that there was a draft constitution. The following day, you know how much is, the following day, the president was in Mongo, now for Youth Day, because those events follow one another. And he repeated his assertions, even asked the crowd, are you ready, for the draft constitution? Are you ready for youths to be included in the constitution? There was an uproar, there was miscommunication from State House, from Ministry of Justice. Clearly, they had let out the cat out of the bag without walking the Zambians through, literally the conspiracy. Earlier, we had heard reports, and the reports were that they had enticed Emmanuel Banda, who was Petauke's member of Central Independent MP, to initiate what they called non-contentious clauses, and that the speaker had started a process to amend the constitution on clauses that they believed were non-contentious. And the president also came and made a speech to that effect. Again, there was an uproar. Mr. President, this is no longer ignorance. You have experts. You have Attorney General, Solicitor General, Minister of Justice. You have other experts. You do not amend the constitution in the manner that you wish to. And that process was withdrawn. Then we saw a notice from the Minister of Justice that there was a draft constitution ready, and government was ready to proceed with 13 items, which they said were non-contentious, and they even gazetted the Bill 7, what now turned out Constitutional Amendment of 2025, Bill 7. This matter proceeded 30 days notice, and it proceeded into Parliament, and first reading was about to be read. Then we had a good announcement from the Constitutional Court that made a declaration that this process was, number one, illegal. The president had abandoned mechanisms and standards and minimum principles for constitutional making. The consultative process was not in place. Number two, there was no legal framework guiding the process. Number three, the president had breached various constitutions. He didn't use any enabling legislation to come up with those proposed amendments in parliament. And no one knew where they came from. They alleged that they were non-contentious because they wanted to empower women, persons with disability, and the youths, and that they wanted to remove what he called lacuna. Who had established those lacunas? The debate raged on, but were saved by the Constitutional Court. What did President Hakainde Hichilema do, and the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Minister of Justice? They refused to withdraw Bill 7 in Parliament, despite the Constitutional Court declaring it illegal, despite the Constitutional Court urging them to start afresh. They picked only one item from the judgment, which was to pick a consultative technical committee that should go around and pick views from our people. They didn't enable legislation. And the so-called technical experts were not technical experts at all, other than Judge Mshabati. The rest, if you look at the numbers there, look, are they technical in any way to the issues of the draft constitution? They packed it with cadres instead of the technical committee. However, the technical committee appointed to consult and draft amendments to the constitution did its work, presented a report to the president. They presented two reports to the president. Number one, the technical report. Number two, the draft constitution, drafting amendments to the constitution. And oh boy, even if this report was theirs, you'll be shocked. First of all, it appeared to differ substantially with Bill 7. Number one, it says members of cabinet must come from outside parliament. Hichilema didn't want them to speak to those issues. He had given them terms of reference. They were quite broad, but they were restricting to those 13. But they were broad, because if you say change electoral process, citizens are obliged to say whatever they wish on the electoral process. The 40 MPs that the president wants to appoint, youths 20, 12, women 20, 12 youths, and 3 with persons with disability. This technical committee, which we have rejected, has no legacy, has no legal framework, has no legitimacy, however, made some good recommendations. For example, they said on the 40, there should be an involvement. There should be an involvement of political parties in this process who should nominate people to come to parliament. Obviously, President Hakainde doesn't want that. Another matter, the number of seats. President Hakainde Hichilema is proposing 211 seats. They have proposed minimum 256 seats. 226 MPs, 266, who should be constituents-based, elected. Then the 40 MPs, remember he had wanted 20, they've proposed 16 women, 12 youths, and 12 persons with disabilities, and then they've increased the nomination of MPs to 10. The other matter that they've proposed in this same report we are not even supposed to respect, that the proportional representatives, of course, like I said, the nominees should come from political parties. And then they've said by-elections should remain as they are, not in the manner that President Hakainde Hichilema wants them to be. And that ministers should vacate office. And another matter, remember the argument by the president is CDF and MPs. One of the issues has been enticing the MPs to support Bill 7 is that you will now participate in CDF and CDF allocation. Well, his technical report has refused. They've said the MPs cannot interfere with local government process. The MPs are legislators, that's their primary role. Leave CDF and councils to run. So apparently this report is not kind to Hichilema. And do you know what he has done? He has abandoned that entire process. Because after he received the draft constitution and the report, he's supposed to table it to government, to cabinet. Cabinet is supposed to sit and approve. Then they're supposed to issue what is called a white paper. Then they are supposed to publicize the findings and the draft constitution through a gazette notice of 30 days. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema's interest is not about that. He's run out of time. So he cannot afford such a legal process. So he has now abandoned the technical report and the draft constitution. He has totally abandoned it. And he has just revived and relieved Bill 7. The illegality of this entire process is shocking. President Hakainde Hichilema continues to break the law, continues to defile the constitution, continues to disrespect the constitution, continues to dishonor the constitution in his quest to, pass this law. Now, why does he want? I can see my guest Queen Pumi is now ready, and why does he want these changes? I'll come to speak to that. Let me just play a video of the technical committee sitting just for a minute. Then, not the technical committee. Now, the Speaker of the National Assembly has since set up a select committee led by Gary Nkombo for MPs that are mostly pro Bill 7 to sit and come up with a report that this matter should come for second reading on Friday before Parliament adjourns sine die. President Hakainde Hichilema is determined to dishonor the Constitution, to rape the Constitution, to disrespect the Constitution. He has failed to uphold the Constitution. He has abandoned all constitutional making processes, despite the findings of the Constitutional Court, despite the technical report, his own report. He doesn't want to honor it. His own report that you saw that he was receiving at Parliament. I'll bring in Queen Pumi for our views.
You can proceed if you have.
Thank you, Chair. Just to clarify on the increase on the nominated members of Parliament, Chair, the percentage used there is 5% for calculations. Thank you.
All right, thank you, witness. Any other points of clarification? Witness, do you want to add?
No, Chair, that's fine. I thought that was directed.
Queen Pumi, the president is determined to go ahead with the process, and with a party cadre in the name of the Speaker of the National Assembly, they are collaborating in one mind, and as you have seen, they've even started with the sitting of that select committee. And despite court processes and court orders, they've chosen to even ignore court processes. The first Speaker of Parliament, Attractor Musangano, even said, "We will not be ruled or directed by any other body other than ourselves," meaning even if the court issued any order, they are going to disregard it. Let's start from there.
Well, it's it's very unfortunate to find ourselves in this situation where the House that is supposed to make laws is abrogating those laws with impunity. It's very unfortunate, but I think we are at a time where the judiciary will be put to test. So we are hoping the judiciary in Zambia will do the right thing and hold this the entire parliament to be able to respect the law. What is unfortunate is that the legislature makes the laws, but again, they are breaking the same laws they have made. So it's really a shame to the Speaker of the National Assembly, especially that she is a woman. And as women, we are really disappointed. We expected that she would use this opportunity to uplift or to kind of validate as women in politics, to be professional, to be credible, and to do things within the law. But it's really a huge disappointment to us Zambian women to have a woman who is being used to break the law. Now, the other thing that I would like to say is that of all these things that are in this illegal law, to start with illegal Bill 7, there are things about the proportional representation, which is in Article 41, 5D, where actually this clause has been manipulated to seem as though the number of women is going to be increased in parliament, when actually the Bill 7 will actually manipulate the law to make the majority of us marginalized population in Zambia. This law will make us the majority into the minority in parliament. Why do I say this? I say this because the current law 45(1)(d) emphasizes that there should be gender equity in National Assembly. Now, what does gender equity in National Assembly mean? It means that the population of the National Assembly should reflect the population of the country. Now, our statistics are as follows. Women are 51% of the population in Zambia. The youths are 70%, and the disabled, they are about less than 10%. So if all the previous governments, I'm not only blaming this on UPND, starting from UNIP to MMD to PF, they have never honored this gender equity. So the correct gender equity is to have this majority represented according to the population, which if this were really what they wanted to do, they wouldn't even have this proportional representation in their law. They would just honor what is in the constitution, and that would be no less than 181 seats between the marginalized population, which is the men, youth, and disabled. Sorry, the women, youth, and disabled. Another contentious thing, ladies and gentlemen, which the people who are saying, "Oh, tell us the dangerous clauses in the in this Bill 7." So they are silent dangerous clauses which they are not even talking about, and they are like 4 clauses which they are adding a word determined after the word here. Now this is the clause, for example, clause Article 103, which talks about petition of presidential election. So currently, Article 103 2, it says, and I read, and I quote, "The Constitutional Court shall hear an election petition relating to the president-elect within 14 days of filing of the petition." So what this Bill 7 is seeking to do is to add the word determine after the word here. So what simply means that the power is being given to the judges to decide within the 14 days. And the danger here is that if I, Pumulos Tumbeko, I am the current president, and I run this election in 2026, and I rig this election as Pumulos Tumbeko, and as Pumulos Tumbeko, I appointed the judge, then the citizens file a petition to nullify those results. Adding the word determine means that the judge whom I appointed can fix that election and determine to say Pumulo Stumbeko won the election, I have judged. So this is the danger, because looking at the current situation, we at ECZ, we already have Bamwangala Zalomis, who is a typical UPND cadre. We saw this situation in Tanzania, where the ECZ of Tanzania, within 24 hours, they just got up and said, Samia has won by 98%. And that was final. So I think in Tanzania, they have the similar situation where judges determine these election cases. And this is what is coming to Zambia. So for me, I think this is the most dangerous one, where the presidential race is already fixed and predetermined by adding those clauses. That clause, the word determined, means that no one can contest the result of a presidential election. Whatever this judge who's appointed by the judge has determined is what will happen. And the danger is we are going to see, if this Bill 7 passes, we might see that we are going to have an inauguration in a military barracks, because everything will be fixed. And before I end on this point, I just want to say Bill 7 is actually seeking to legitimize the illegalities that are happening in this government. Things have already been happening. The constitution has already been thrown, but this Bill 7 will actually legalize whatever they are doing and rubber stamp these elections. The president cannot be challenged. He is going to have the 2/3 majority he needs to rubber stamp every change he wants to make. So we are in trouble. We are in trouble as a country. I know the MPs are looking at a 3 million as I'm making all these plans, but I want to appeal to the MPs to think beyond that 3 million you are receiving. This 3 million is going to sell out our country. Look at what happened in Congo. Congo, with the 30 years, because of men and women who are like the similar situation in Zambia, made a decision for themselves. They thought it was a joke. Little did they know they were plunging a country in chaos. And we've had this situation in Congo. Even if it was resolved, it's just like, you know what? They just have to do what they have to do. But if the situation was avoided 30 years ago, we would be better. Yeah. So, dear MPs, we want to ask you, we want to plead you, dear MPs, to think about your children's future. We are not going to go into a 27-year rule. Tualipita mokale, and the countries are moving forward and improving lives of their citizens. And I don't really know what to say. It basically boils down to our MPs to be patriotic, our judges to be like the judges in Malawi.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, I am with Queen Pumi, New Era Democratic President Pumulo Stumbeko. She's helping me discuss Bill 7, the illegalities of Bill 7, the literally abuse of the Constitution by the president in pursuing this process. In the week, the Law Association of Zambia urged government to obey court orders to withdraw Bill 7 in Parliament as it was quashed, as it is dead. The Law Association of Zambia plays a key role in our constitution making process. The law identifies them as key holders, and they've objected to this process. There are court processes against the speaker. She's being cited for contempt with the entire parliament if they proceed with this matter. But President Hakainde Hichilema is determined. He set up a technical committee, which wasn't technical. If you look at the numbers and the people that sat on it, they're not even technical. However, they came up with a report that, again, he has rejected. Totally rejected it. They have a draft constitution and a technical report that should be, they should sit in parliament, in cabinet, issue a white paper and gazette it the findings for 30 days, again get submissions, then take it to Parliament. He doesn't have that time. Why does President Hakainde Hichilema, why does he want these constitutional amendments? And I laughed at a statement by State House Chief of Communications, he calls himself Chief Communications Specialist, our dear brother, Clayson Hamasaka, who issued a statement that many stakeholders laughed at. He says, challenge us of any of the items that is bad in Bill 7. First of all, Clayson, Bill 7 is dead. It's not even supposed to be in Parliament. That's a start point. Bill 7 was quashed down. It's unconstitutional. That's a start. But if we are to discuss the issues in there, number one, the electoral system, you cannot propose such a drastic change to our electoral system from first past the post and 50% plus one. You want to make these drastic changes without broad consultations, without constitutional amendments. You want to expand Parliament from 165 to 266 minimum. You don't have a building for it. They're already squished. They're just 156, totals 165, because you have to include the speaker, the two deputies, and the 8 nominated. So they are about 165. There is no space. You need a new Parliament. And you need to apportion money for, number one, each MP. So if you're going to expand Parliament doubly, the amount of money we are spending to buy them those $100,000 cars, $120,000 cars, the allowances that they get per month, the salaries, then the international trips, because they have to benchmark all their work with these international trips. In fact, the speaker is the most traveled speaker. Every time I'm following up on the issues in Parliament, she's out. Like currently, she has been in South Africa. Every week, she's in Fuji, she's in Bahamas, she's in Mauritius, and a large entourage. How will we afford a new Parliament with new members of Parliament coming to up to 100? So this Bill 7 is poison. The technical report, its report has been discarded. Stakeholders who are NGOCC, the Law Association of Zambia, the church mother bodies have said this process is illegal. And they've refused, like Mama Katebe said, Beauty Katebe, who is the current chairperson of the Oasis Forum, said they've abandoned the discussions, the so-called negotiations, because they were just being used to window dress the process. And they refused to be participants of this window dressing. Kindly share the broadcast. Kindly share the broadcast. This is very key for any activity that we have to do as a country. Share the broadcast. Let's have as many people calling in and as many people participating in this process. The president is now abusing the Catholic. He's calling them names. We saw where Victor Kalisha, he calls himself a bishop, insulted the Catholic Church in the presence of the president, and they were all clapping. I don't know if I have that video. They were all clapping. I was embarrassed on behalf of State House and the country. You cannot. Look at the people that were supporting him and clapping when Bishop Kalesha was speaking against the Catholic Church. He has apologized, but I wish even those that were clapping, including President Hakainde Hichilema, could apologize.
As a Zambian who has children, a wife and children in my house, and when I say I'm representing the people of Zambia, I start with my household, because they are people that come from me. When somebody stands and says I'm representing the people of Zambia and there is no seed that is coming from his house, is not representing myself. The people, the Lufwanyama community.
Amendment proposal that has potential. Amendment proposal that has potential. To take our nation forward. And what we are saying in ICOS, let the process go ahead. Let it go ahead. Republican constitution not to be abrogated because of a talkative grouping. We say no. To go ahead. Republican constitution not to be abrogated because of a talkative grouping. We say no. We say
the ministers and other government officials present here, the Oasis Forum delegation. I just want to say thank you to everyone around here. Mr. President, I will start by thanking you for extending this invitation to the Oasis Forum. I think that just demonstrated good leadership. I know from where we are coming from, it was the issue of our minister just opposite to me responds to us in the newspapers. We also go to the newspapers. It was a media fight. And when it is a media fight, everyone wants to win. We wanted to win, they wanted to win, so it wasn't a good thing. And we are happy that you invited us to come here. We are grateful for that invitation. But allow me, Mr. President, to be very, very candid on the reason why we are here. We wanted to be here for a celebration and not what we are here for. The people of Zambia, I'm very sure, would have loved us to come here to bring thanks and gratitude for your delivery on the promises that we, as people of Zambia, expected. But we are here to discuss the amendment of the Constitution, which is supposed to be a very straightforward issue. Much as we are saying that the amendment of the Constitution brings issues, but I think if process and content is followed from the word go, I don't think any of the citizens of Zambia would have reason to raise questions, especially us as women, because there were issues, or there are issues in the Bill 7 that pertain to inclusion in the Constitution, in the amendment. But for us to come back to you and sit in this manner, or go to the media, go to the public and speak in the manner that we are speaking, Mr. President, there is something that is not adding up, and we thought we could just have it corrected before we can proceed. There is something that needs to be corrected. Process of the Constitution amendment must be a process of the Constitution amendment, and that is what has worried us. There are a number of issues, Mr. President, maybe that we could have wanted to be discussing here, especially that if you talk about the previous regime or successive governments, there are a number of issues that you and us went together into the dungeons. And if there were people that were in the dungeons deeper than all of us, I think it's you, because you experienced everything. Hence, the reason why you are here. We wanted to vote for a president who has experienced, who has cried with us, who has known what the people of Zambia wants, so that when you are here, you will remember that that time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give to them. This time we were here, this is what we wanted, let me give it to them. So we were actually happy to see you here, because we were very sure that most of the things that we cried for, because we were crying together, were going to be very straightforward, and not a situation where we come and sit and plead, or we come and sit and cry, or we even intend to go to the streets.
Queen Pumi, let me bring you on. Yeah, make your contributions.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. So I have a few points which bother me, and one of the points that bother me is delimitation, because this government has refused to produce a delimitation report, so we know which constituencies are going to be delimited in Bill 7. And they say they only publish this delimitation report after Bill 7 has passed. Now, if that's not telling that this Bill 7 is actually a constitution which will empower UPND to stay in power as long as they want, then I don't know what is. The amount of secrecy behind a people's document is really mind-boggling. I mean, you members of parliament, honestly, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask this question to the MPs, because we saw 29 members of parliament endorse Honorable Brian Mundubire. Now, these MPs, they are elected to go and make laws and uphold the rule of law in the country, improve the lives of people. Now, I appreciated the endorsement of a fellow MP for his presidential candidature, but I am worried because the MPs have been silent when it comes for them to do their job for which they went to parliament for. They went to parliament to oppose government. They went to parliament to ensure that the laws that are passed are protecting our democracy. But what is really bothering me and many Zambians is why the MPs have not come out strongly to oppose or reject Bill 7. So this is a major concern for all of us as citizens, and would like to appeal to the MPs. It's not too late for you to do the right thing. Another thing, another clause which is really bothersome is the elimination of by-elections in Bill 7. So if for some reason an MP loses the seats, then there will be no by-elections, but the party that holds that seat will handpick a replacement. Now, is this the democracy, honestly? Can, after 61 years of independence, how can we be going back to creating Zambia into a limited company where we now, through these members of parliament, we want to hand over our country to one political party, like Frelimo, like ANC, you know? There are many countries in our region who have dominated. They have really just changed the constitution to ensure that no other political party can rule the country except them. And this is the Bill 7. Bill 7 is copying what is happening in Uganda, in Rwanda, whereby if this Bill 7 passes, we might as well forget about opposition, because everything will be handpicked, it will be staged. Currently, if you are doubting, this is what this plan of Bill 7 is already in motion. If you look at what is happening in PF, where an imposed president is actually the one who is working with the ruling party to stop democratic process in PF. Chabinga is the one who is recognized in the parliament. Even ECZ, after the documents were changed, any candidate who has to be on the ballot has to be, the adoption certificates must be signed by Chabinga. And if this Bill 7 passes, it means there will be no democracy in Zambia. So again, it boils down to the judges and the judiciary. Like the president said, When he met with the Oasis, when the dialogue failed, he sent them away. He said, go to the to parliament and go to the judiciary. But he's sending us where he has already planted. The process is already in motion for them to vote for this Bill 7. So he's sending us to a dead end. So the only thing we can do here is appeal to these judges and members of parliament. Imira Nduta Shivola, you know, you will face jail sooner or later. Yesterday, I was reading an article where they jailed some police officers in South Africa who killed somebody in 1987, but they were sentenced this month. Can you imagine? From 1987, they sentenced them this month. How many years has it been? So it is important to think about what you're going to do. It won't end here. And another thing which we must be aware is all of you, because the president cannot do this by himself. He is being enabled by people surrounding him, you know. So you people who are surrounding the president, enabling this bad authoritarian behavior, ask yourselves, because when it's all said and done, we shall those people who are going to live to that day, if this Bill 7 passes, they will be held accountable. They will be called to the courts of law. The judges will change. There will be independent judges, and you shall be called to explain. And you shall be prosecuted. So this is a really serious matter, and we hope people will sit down and think about the future of the country. How do we take ourselves? It's not too late. People need to change. Also, the other issue is elimination of, or not elimination, the government staying in office. So this Bill 7 will enable the current government to stay in office until the eve of the election. So can you imagine? It will mean there will be no campaign. These UPND officials will still have control over government infrastructure, machinery, police, vehicles at their disposal. So how it means that there will be no election. It means opposition will not be able to campaign because these ministers will still be in their offices and enjoying salaries and all the benefits until a day before the election. Whichever way you slice it, it's bad. There's nothing good about this bill. And you people supporting it, I am praying it for you. I'm praying for you, sorry. So yesterday we were saying that, you know, it's like Kumaka Yesu, it's like Tuafirwa. We are just going to put the country's leadership in prayer. And the key people now is the legislature and the judiciary. Maybe God can speak to you because if you know, you are
Wonderful, wonderful. We'll be opening the phone lines very soon. Thank you, Queen Pumi. Queen Pumi is assisting me with today's broadcast. We're analyzing the Bill 7 that is illegally before Parliament. Lars stated that it's illegal. It should have been discarded. The Constitutional Court directed that the process was dead. They advised the president to set up a technical committee and to enable legislation. He has not enabled legislation. He set up a technical committee to consult the people of Zambia. The findings, the draft constitution and the report have been discarded. No announcements of the findings, no gazette notice of 30 days, nothing has happened. He has just relieved Bill 7. Share the broadcast. We'll be opening the phone lines. I'm being helped by Pumulo Stumbeko, Mrs. Pumulo Stumbeko. She's a president of New Era Democratic Party, and she's assisting in this analysis. Earlier in the day, I challenged the people of Zambia. I said President Hakainde Hichilema requires in Parliament 111 members of Parliament to vote for this bill to become law to amend our constitution. But here is the structure of parliament. The UPND were elected with 83 MPs, but they've since stolen new seats in Kawambwa, Pambashe, Kwacha, Kabushi, Mfue, Lumezi, and Lumezi. So they have 89 seats now from 83. Then remember the president nominated 8. That comes to 97. The PF had 60 MPs. It lost those 5. It now has 55 MPs. Then there are 10 independents. The Party for National Unity and Progress has won in Nalolo. And the New Congress Party under Tonse Alliance won Petauke seat. So President Hakainde Hichilema, at best, he will require MPs from the independents. He will require MPs from the PF. Who are the independents? So you have Emmanuel Banda from Muchinga in Serenje. You have Joel Chibuye from Luansha, from Ron. You have Gustava, my dear brother, Gustava Chonde from Milenge. You have George Kandafula from Serenje. You have Honorable Given Katuta from Chiengi. You have Honorable Moses Moyo, who's a deputy speaker that we know, from Luangeni, from Luangeni, I don't know what H patterns call it. We have Binwa Mpundu from Nkana constituency. We have from Kaflafuta, Honorable Jeffrey Mulabwa. We have Warren Mwambazi, the chair for the Public Accounts Committee from Bonamkubwa. We have from Chasefu, Mishek Nyambose, the former unionist, and we have Menyani Zulu from Nyimba. Now, I challenged you as a citizen. I said, call your MPs. Call them, whether they are UPND, PF, or independents. I said, call them and ask them in their face, are you going to betray our country? Because the radical changes that President Hakainde Hichilema wishes to make will alter the state of our country forever, beginning 2026. If he is allowed to pass these amendments, he will have an automatic majority in parliament. It doesn't matter how you vote. He will have up to 42 people he can appoint. And he will just need a few MPs, maybe from Southern Province, and he can rule this country. He can amend the constitution. He can remove term of limit, as everyone, including BBC, have speculated. And I've got a very serious expert, Aaron Ngambi, who spoke to BBC in that interview we published, who's coming tomorrow just to speak to this issue. We can make a king out of a president. He will no longer be your servant. Will you allow them to be? These are your MPs. Can you give them a call? Challenge them. Why are you abusing the constitution? Why are you disrespecting the constitution? Why are you allowing President Hakainde Hichilema to abuse you and abuse the constitution? Call the MPs. You know who your MPs are. Call them. Put them under pressure and challenge them. Do you think we'll elect you in 2026? MPs, especially about UPND, they are going to be replaced. We have seen the primaries and the number of young people who have challenged those very senior positions. They are no longer automatic. They'll be replaced. So would you like to risk and go down in the history as one that altered the history of our country? So the lines are now open. You can call. I'm with my dear sister, Wopumulos Tumbeko. She's assisting me in this broadcast. Very eloquent submissions she has made. Here is Beauty Katewe urging you to call to action. Don't sit in your living room just watching football while your country is being stolen.
The dialogue on the constitutional reforms has failed. The Oasis Forum regrets to inform the public that it decided to pull out of the dialogue on the constitution amendment process when it became clear that the government was adamant on its position to continue with an illegality. It is for this reason that on the 29th November 2025, following its sitting, the Oasis Forum wrote to the Republican president on its principled stance on the matter, which later was delivered to the smaller team.
It appears the calls are coming in plenty, so let's begin to take the calls quickly. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Mwamba. Good afternoon, Queen Pumu. My name is Nyangwe Dani, calling you from Canada.
Mr. Sinyangwe, make your contributions.
Thank you. Ambassador Mwamba, I've got 3 contributions today, and 2 are going to be for you, and the other one is going to be about Bill 7. The number 1 question, Ambassador Mwamba, is I'm asking you, you are part and parcel of the MCC committee of PF. Today, the elders met, and my question is today is, we want PF to go for a convention so that they can elect leaders and then the house can be put in order. That's number 1, and it's important. Because the more you delay, the more there's going to be confusion. Second, Ambassador Mwamba, you were privileged to serve in government as a permanent secretary and then as an ambassador. What is your comment? What is happening in the part of Africa, in the western part of Africa, where we are seeing many military personnel taking over the running of government? What do you say about it, and what is making them do that? Then second, now the last point is, Queen Pumi and you and Katebe Beauty, I've said it, and I'll say it after analyzing it. Bill 7 is a personal agenda by a selfish person who knows has no support from the Zambian people, but wants to make himself and his interest, not the interest of the nation, but his interest to rule this country. Bill 7 is an agenda for our sitting president. He has made it personal, and there is no way any sane Zambian can allow this to happen. Our call is for every Zambian to make this not to happen. MPs, any reasonable MPs, we are telling you, be part of history that will prevent us from making one a dictator. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba, and thank you, Queen Pumi. God bless you all. We love you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm on now.
Yes, caller, please tell us where you are calling us from.
Ambassador, your colleague here, Kafwimbi.
Mr. Kafwimbi from Australia, make your contribution, my brother.
Yes, the first thing that I want to find out from Mwamba is the article which was written about Mwila, where you expressed your sadness. We're going to be very polite about how that was you who wrote that article, and you were not happy with that. Was that you?
Oh, yes, I condemned Honorable Mwila for making racist remarks. Yes.
Thank you very much, because we really don't need to go that way, because Namwiswa, liberation oil quarter, which is trying to be taken away from us. Like I don't party a lot na Bamunduwile, but it doesn't matter if I like Makebi, if I like what, or if I party with you. But we can still all chat. We don't need to go to those levels. So I'm very grateful for that write-up. You did a good job. Ukulemba the article. And then now I go over to this BWE. Yesterday I told you that not quarter one probably banga 7. I hope Namubata identified. These people need to know that Chalo, it doesn't end with you getting in the Lama. I didn't come as a king. I came here and there's some Queen Befishima, if you ever saw. But I'm able to live. My children are able to live. alaba abantu aba, I would send you a thing, and they will be the most disappointing people. But it's 7. Hello, being well now, they see. But it's 7. So keep pushing, and let's hope they will change their minds before Fiatika Opotafiweme. And I submit. I'll let you go on. And thank you, Mpumi, my sister. Natotera.
Thank you very much. Our dear brother Kelvin Chandakafwimbi from Australia. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Am I clear?
Yes, you are, my brother.
Thank you very much. Madam Queen Mpumi, very excellent analysis, Madam. What I want to state, if I'm clear, is that first and foremost, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, when you're dealing with a person, you need to know what type of a person you are dealing with. Many people don't know what type of a person President Hakainde Hichilema is. And that's why you are approaching him in that kind of manner. Immediately I heard the host forum saying that they're going to meet him at State House after for the dialogue. I knew that that was a tragic mistake. President Hakainde Hichilema is not a person you can sit down and agree with anything. This is the person who was sent over 100 negotiators to South Africa to go and negotiate a funeral. And up to now, 6 months, President ECO is not yet married. So it's not a person you can discuss with. So I think the person who had the foresight is Shoni Tembo. Shoni Tembo said, you are only going to discuss after the protest. That is what should have happened. What we are dealing with here, Ambassador Emmanuel, when I'm talking, you people must be able to listen. Because you see, even when PF was in power, I was talking. They never listened, and now we're in this mess. President Hakainde Hichilema is behaving like a driver who is driving a power tools coach bus full of passengers on a suicide mission. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes,
Ambassador Emmanuel, what is there? He is behaving like a person driving a coach on a suicide mission. He doesn't care of anything. And you are asking to say, why is he rushing all these things? He knows that he is an accidental president. He is a president by mistake. He knows that. And he knows that people have realized everywhere to say that they were going at Northern Province. He knows he will never get that vote. He knows that this is the last thing. That's why he even wants to extend the term. He knows that he's going. That is why he's forcing everything. He knows that this is the last thing. He has disappointed the people of this country. So what we are saying is that we need a solid opposition political party. We need to commend the work of the Oasis Forum. Of course, that woman is very vibrant, and we must commend her. And we must commend people who are standing up like that. Of course, the principal Catholic bishop who rejected the 70p change. How do you give somebody 70,000 as a transport refund when farmers have not yet been paid their money? How do you expand the number of MPs? How do you expand, Ambassador, the number of MPs when you have already plotted the wage bill by these teachers you are employing, the wage bill you are borrowing in order to pay the workers? Where are you going to find the money to pay the MPs? So we are dealing with a desperate, scared government because he has not fulfilled what he promised the people. And this is a thing we were telling him first day when he assumed office. President Hakainde Hichilema, this bitterness that you are doing is going to consume all of us. Forget about PF, concentrate on your promises. And this man, what he was simply supposed to do was to concentrate on the promises he told the people. That's all. We are going to elect him back. He had a lot of gold, but now he knows that Nika lasts. As that Nika lasts, it will take a lifetime for any person to wake up in Zambia and go and vote for the president.
Thank you, my brother.
Saying, Ambassador Emmanuel?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Ambassador Emmanuel, am I talking alone, Ambassador Emmanuel?
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening. I'm calling you from Denmark. I would rather remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Yes, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I greet you, Ambassador. I greet Queen Pumi as well. And I just want to appreciate for the time that you're taking to address this issue. First of all, I would like to say that this Bill 7 of a thing, I think it just proves that the UPND government is not a Zambia's people's government. That's what I would say. And in the first place, just like you have elaborated, the bill has been dead, long gone. And it's not a matter of discussion today that we should be talking about. And for me, I would just like to urge the masses in Zambia to protest countrywide. We shouldn't allow that illegal bill to enter our house. No. People should go and do peaceful demonstrations. These are requirements. The Constitution provides that when people are not happy, they should be able to demonstrate. Let there be protests countrywide to reject and refuse this bill. I also have one concern. Maybe Mwamba, you have a different idea. I want to ask, let's assume that this bill goes in and they delimitate. For example, for illustration purposes, I want to take, let's say, Lusaka Central. Let's say there are 2 MPs there that need to stand, let's assume. So how will the voting be? Because the polling stations, the registration place where people are being registered, that's where they will vote from. So how will they divide to ensure that 2 MPs come from the same polling station? I want to understand the criteria there because I don't see the maths mathing myself. So those were my contribution. I want to urge Zambians to make sure that they protest countrywide. It's their right, provided it's peaceful, to show that they are not happy and they do not accept this, because our country is our country. It's not President Hakainde Hichilema's country, and he can't impose himself and his thinking on the Zambian people. We say no to that, and Bill 7 is illegal, should not be accepted. And to the MPs who have been either bribed or they feel like they want to betray the people, I want them to know that time will catch up with them, and they shouldn't do it. If it means money or anything, they shouldn't do it. Let them be loyal to the people, because they are safer with the people, unlike with President Hakainde Hichilema. Because if he goes in, come 2031, he's going to bring somebody they don't even like, somebody they don't even know, to replace him. He won't even think about them. So they better do the right thing today, now. So this is what I wanted to say. Otherwise,
thank you very much, my sister. Thank you very much. With a few callers waiting, but yeah, other caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
And good evening, Madam Mpumi.
Thank you.
Yes, I wanted also to add on what I've come across when it comes to how MPs will be elected in 2 systems combined. This Bill 7, Mwamba, Zambians, our MPs, they should make sure that it is not going to go through. The first MPs will go with the first past the post, the usual. These members will represent specific constituency. Then second, there is the proportional representation. The party-based seats, this is where now it becomes dangerous. This is a new system being added. The voters will also vote for political parties, not only individuals. After elections, seats will be given to parties based on the percentage of total votes that they will receive nationwide. For example, if Party A gets 40% of the national votes, it gets about 40% of PR, which is proportional represented seats. If Party B gets 10%, it gets 10% of the PR seat. Some MPs will not represent constituencies, but will represent the political parties. This is where Zambians should understand when we say Bill 7 is bad. Who benefits from the PR? The PR seats are mainly meant for women, youth, persons with disabilities, marginalized group. These people will not be voted for directly by public. Their names will be put on a party list by their political parties. Then this means each political party will prepare a list of preferred candidates in advance. The list ranked in order 1, 2, 3, etc. After elections, if the party qualifies for 5 PR seats, then the top 5 names on the PRC list automatically becomes MP. Voters do not choose individuals on this list. They only choose the party. Party leaders control, so meaning the party leaders control who enters the parliament through these PR seats. Oh, how the PR seats are shared. PR seats will be shared based on the total number of the votes party gets nationally, calculated as percentage. The seats are allocated proportionally. All this will be managed by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. This is changing the electoral process. What constitutional changes are being made? That is what the changes articles, which is Article 47A, 57, 58, and 62B, so that the Constitution officially allows the two types of MPs, constituents MPs and MPs, and allows the party list nomination, seat allocation by percentage of votes. The real meaning in the plain truth is simple. In simple terms, that this proposed means that Zambians will keep voting for MPs in constituents, but also introduce extra MPs choosing by political parties, not voters direct. These extra MPs will mostly come from the party list controlled by the leaders. Seats will be shared based on how strong each party performs nationally. Now, the controversy is this. Many people are worried because it introduces people direct power to choose some of their MPs. It gives too much power to the president. It can be used to reward loyal cadres, protect rejected politicians, manipulate parliament through party lists. It can weaken the accountability because PR MPs does not answer to voters. They will answer to the party bosses. In summary, this proposal means that Zambia wants to keep electing MPs by constituents, but also adding new MPs who will be chosen by political parties based on percentage to total, many from the party list controls by the party leaders. This is what I've come across in the same technical committee. So
thank you, Zephania. Thank you. Let's take other calls. Thank you, Zephania.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Ambassador, kwena kanje shokuranda kutonono. Inefo ningalanda fi. Kwebena Zambia tusambiri lepo sana. Tuira kwata sana umulele. Ngatemu mulele wesu. Abantu tuteka nga tabale tuteka so abantu nga baleranda pamuntu nango baleranda efintu tuleposa kwa mama twakutika abantu finish baleranda po because the ambassador nga chako baitatoa kwa tomulere ngata tuteke kuri aba kuri uyu muntu because ofuna arangire fenga twafairikisha sana nango kuwelera kuno tapabe bisume vya kitike po pakati ka bumi bwakwe nombanga twali attentive fure twalolesha ati nomba outcome uyu muntu okupitira mu mikalire yakwe emibombere yakwe tachitapo efindivu maromba arambira okukita efindivu soma pakati kesu because umuntu namba wanu ngakwata obuchenjeshi takwete chinka chera umufimbira chinka arambira funa arangire fe ba ambassador benanga twakonka oroba ali kumwa bukulya myaka shinga bakwete epo fina bahandoso mazoka bali ba chairman ba angro tabakwata tabakwete kwendara mendara moshakwata na ungatwasaro lesha kura Southern province tura tupende mpanga yakwata ai kwete mpanga pa myaka shinga apokere akwatire mpanga ila munshiranchi turesanga tukonse kula kulia mafia no mumura ndwako batwalite mu kwikara mu isolation. Instead tupose kwa mano tuishi besho muntu background history yako yabashani na ngumonso mwa kwa tama shares ushipo kwa tama shares ubuchinga bwale bomba na ngufi so ali taking advantage because if into fya chita Zambia if you want to bias means fyali fula fyali mulenga abanopo abelere so nomba eticha isana kucharo so pavena Zambia enchita nomba pe yakwima nokuma nakapi oroba father filabarefu abachite bagweshi nangu barande fyokwe bati bakatolika bonse kali bafather nga bale batuka bonse ama members tapaba basekera so epo bafather barandira kwa mwikara charo wa panshi chama kanshi nangu bachitafe declare kwe bati bakatolika bonse pamurando wa urupapuro twaraenda mu street chawa makwevya pa face pali inonshita chirefu ayi kwa mu street mumone kyokweva chishinga mu Zambia ifintu tafirenda uyo ro kwisa pali ba Rusato ba Davis ngato akonga sana ba Davis leadership yawe techituira ndepo ushewe muntu nga chakweva ati bakuchita expel omunchito bakutamvya panchito as a manager na kwa tensambu isha kuya imini na muri ya company kwa mgo controller manager pa company fyakana murando wakwevati ino chite charopo chifikiri ababa dadi ba Davis bawerere panshi nabakwataka leakage kuri ababantu mu chitatubi aba chite fintu ifibi nabakwatako ka leakage akareba parking apakwevati barete confusion mu PF pakwevati ma members of parliament na Mwamba Mwamba instead mushite concentrate pali constitution mwambi okuranda pali ya confusion nomba before too late bachama mweshama na bakamisungira abana sorry bachama baba Davis bachama bakaye bamwira abakamisungira abana PF na abantu abateka po PF eba PF bonze ofyo mulera nda vile stat determine pantanshi yenu bali ishwa fyonse fe mwarepta mu mwirufyanya abantu balerera uko murefu okuya tapali ifiri fyonse ndarama tachisunga omuntu abantu ebasunga bikeni umutende pamwewo wenu uko murefu okuya murandu wakutemwe ndarama lekeni uko murefu okuya pamurandu wakutemwe ndarama eshe ndarama chachi mperesha nombali nefyo bamwamba mwala umfuati bali ku ZNBC nombali nefi gachakwe bata mwababike panshi mwala umfuati bale pera press conference ku ZNBC which is not good abo bali fumakale muchipani kuba sungira kofi bali fumakale kwa kutungurushi kuba sungira ko muchinshi bikwa murandu wakwe bati bali ntungurushi nangu statement yo bapera wonsa babarechita abareposa kwa mano kurufyanya nangu bengarande fishani tabakweta makaya kuranda kuri baro tapali we iliyonse awo na chane utapali iliyonse abo bena ma MPs tule mfa bali 7 eba mbiro kuchita influencer abo bene bamwira bareke barechita tefo chingiri okuba wonse mweba pero muchinshi wakateka bare tuteka twaliringo kuba pero muchinshi lero mufyo baleranda tatufuire twabasarura lero tufurefe twabakontororo kweba tawe ukumurefu okuya takuli wino bamwambanga murefu wa mwishi byokweba ati ababa kateka bali ba craft mukwibira abantu amano elio tiba ni la type yako bati umuntu limbya kunyanta parukasa pakalipa orwasa kutaralika bufibu fipatinishire kalipa na abantu bayo pshata finshire chitikapo era ngwato bomwana orupi romwana alira romba bamwe katapa kana chinshi mwana basuka wangwangwa tawo tapali alife ku type mwana wonse abo bajaki mwimbu wa Cornelius wonse abo kwa tot from UPND wushkunshi wabo mveshe kwa mano yabo mwina Zambia kwa afiri tontonka wushkunshi wabo mveshe kwa mano yabo pali 25 years epo bamazoka bafira wushkunshi bayimapwa cho wabo mfya mano yabo ebalengane charwa chifike pano mwana wako bati wonse bali bashitaka apcha nomba fwe na Zambia kusara kuke tumone leadership mu UPND yabashani nishi wonse mu UPND to bamwena ati to balera ndata fikwete amama donc na to balera nda wonse na firuba kwambira kuri bakada because bomfwe issue ilimo fo yaranda nishikuya muremba mu styleless ofya arandoro omuntu takwa bama isoseri yawo nangu before bill 7 ni cabinet minister nshowa wa imapo against ne ana decision ile for kuchitika because minister alikuwa tensa mbuya kuchita protect ministry yako ngani minister of energy alishwa energy ofo idea minister of mining alishwa ofo idea nombo muntu mo wonse ma ministry bachita report ku muntu mo ama judge wonse ku muntu mo so kwabera Zambia na imwe pano po tuli imwe ine mwebe na Zambia kwebe na Zambia
Bamunkonge, can you send the Konayambia my phone as you can hear? Thank you, Bamunkonge. Thank you, Bamunkonge. Let me take some more calls. There are more people calling. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Please tell us your name.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
This is Dr. Judy Diane Clovo again.
Yes,
yeah,
my
not
brother.
again. I'm just calling for the first time tonight. I joined the program late. My contribution may be a bit different from everybody else. Firstly, I would like to speak to the fact that most of the statements that we are using are just political. It is said that a problem cannot be solved on the same level that it was created. This which we are facing is a political problem, and we are approaching the issues of the constitution politically, which the UPND wanted actually to be getting done like that. That's why when the referee saw that there was a problem in the political arena, the referee decided to rise up to the situation, which is the Oasis Forum and all the fathers that rose up. They didn't want to be political, but here is a problem. Somebody that knew that the referee now is rising to the occasion and is now about to determine the direction of the match. What did they do? They invited them to State House, not necessarily to hear them out, but to politicize them so that it would be easy to start insulting them and so on and so forth. That's why my brother Sean Tembo said, no, the first thing that they need to do is to go ahead with the protest. Then you can call in. This issue will not be solved on a political level. Even the UPND itself knows that. That's why they keep on compromising, and they know that if there is no referee in any match, there is going to be chaos. And they know that. And that's why they are doing this. So what we need to do, all of us who are political leaders in our country, we need to rally behind the fathers, the pastors, and all these referees whose voice is going to be over and above any other voice. Listen, these guys may be in government, but their voice is not ultimate. Their voice is not the most powerful. It can be the loudest because they have ZNBC and they have all these platforms. But the strongest voice that we can only have, even by principle, is that of the Oasis Forum. My uncle, Japheth Ngrovu, he always used to tell me to say, look, my nephew, what happens is that politicians can make as much noise as they want. But if those of us that are coming in from somewhere else speak, our voice may not be loud because we don't have all the platforms, but our voice will be heard as the voice of direction and the voice of reason. So I actually suggest that all Zambians just rally behind the Catholic fathers, all the pastors, and all these people whose voice of reason will be the voice of a referee. We politicians, I'm a politician, I can assure you that we politicians will keep on messing up. And I liked what the Honorable Given Lubinda said. I'll send, obviously, the thing in the other press conference that we had when he was talking about Bill 10. He was saying, yeah, we messed up. But the thing is that if we keep approaching these things politically, we will keep on making the same mistakes. And this is what is happening. I am so saddened that the UPND government has refused to learn. So that's all that I just wanted to say, Honorable Ambassador Mwamba. Please,
thank you.
Where it is supposed to be taken.
Thank you, my brother. Let's begin to take the last caller so that we can allow Queen Pumi to make her contributions. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, this is Precious from Livingston.
Yes, Precious
I
from
just
Livingston.
want to contribute on Bill 7.
Yes.
I want to contribute on Bill 7. I'm encouraging all white Zambians, concerned citizens, to be together. Let us be united to protect our country. As you know that the president Hakainde Hichilema is trying hard to keep himself in power. And we don't know the reason why he's scared. Only God knows. But please, we should not allow him to amend the constitution. Bill 7 is a poison. Bill 7 is one-part state. As all of us, we have seen his video where he was explaining about Bill 10, and Bill 10 and Bill 7, they are all same. And him, we said it's not even good to change the boundaries that was left by our forefathers. But why do we want to amend the constitution now? So the man is a chameleon. He can change in time. So we cannot continue supporting something which is wrong. So those who are supporting blindly, please don't put your family in the serious problem, because Bill 7, it will only benefit them and those who support them. So some of us, we cannot support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be taking the last calls, and I will go to Queen Pumi to help with the debate. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous. I'm calling from Zimbabwe.
Yes, Anonymous, make your contributions.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to thank Queen Pumi for good analysis. My take on this bill, which is an illegal bill. What I expect from all the PF MPs to stay away from parliament, because one, it's an illegal thing. Why should they even participate in that undertaking? So I expect all members of parliament under PF should stay away from there. That's one. That's a demand, because we the people voted for them. They should stay away from that. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. He says on that day, the PF should stay away because they don't know just what will happen if they are in their house. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, Mwamba. This is Mwamba from Livingston.
Yes, Mwamba.
Mwamba Mulishani.
Iyo lesale to Parliament one. Make your contributions.
When to tell us the folk push up ma Zambians wherever they are. I thought that for the victor losing up and hope. If I did consideration of Edgar Lung. Therefore, comment Bill 7 and then the Pairing Karatamar Mbere Palva Davis Muira. Yeah. So, Bill 7, I agree with the previous caller. Watch under party mix proportion and where people will be able to elect for extra sets of members of parliament through political parties. I agree with that caller. Now, MPs are both from the ruling party and from the opposition as well as from independent. What they are supposed to know is that they panga poison yavo. Because if they are supporting the political party, they are sara ngawe faya kufunya. Ero yabika po MP. One MP, wakabati wakusari waliona ole chuma. Then wakusara para then political party. Ikwata maka ya kufunya puno kubika pombi. Kwa bulu kuta consult abantu. MP security ya kwa po ili parisk sana. And if they are very reasonable, MPs, you're in a cross, you have a pocket inch door. And most of them, I doubt, if he Gakutuba take our UPND second term, Gakutuba Watana adopt, I doubt. So Bala Yona Wirang Nangwaka Wachita adopt, the Kashta Katano Bakabatamfi. fena bena panono nga bakumvenje bakuleka so ama MPs ngala bakwata fya mano bill 7 tairi for safe kuma Zambians na kubene ama MPs na kuli bena tairi safe so they should put that into consideration. The other aspect ndiko kutakomenti ba Mwamba ni nkala tamale mbele pale ba Davis Mwera
Mkwai
regarding ama remarks ba pangile pa Diamond TV in regards to the acting president Honorable Given Luwinda. First of all, language babo mfishe bamwira yari bueno, and even me nature condemn strongly because bamwira bamwira I don't know his profession very well, but I understand by kwatako background ya funde tetumunye bakawati bamwira tababerengere amendment ya 2016 but who qualifies to be the qualifications of a president. Ile fundi ya 96 ila tereko bachiro bali baza chitari piu mu 2016 noko kutirati but kano kashita actually or guys court he qualifies to become the president of Zambia. If your parentage clause if yaisa futa mu 2016 musheba mwira tababerengere tabaishiba mwira and then bamwira for me tabakwete kunisa musha kuleta comment pali PF because nangwama MPs abali support bill 7 apaba PF aba bachira adopt ni bamwira ubutungurushu barishtisha bamwira adoption certificate barishtisha kwete ndalama. That's why ndi kwata kuna doubt pali Wamundo because Wamundo is a very good leader, but he seems to have so much strong support from Davis Mwira. Davis Mwira na bala yumfuata na bakwata maka because ama nankana ama provincial executives ya 2021 bashitira ubutungurushi kuri Bamwira and some so loyalty ya ma provincial abengi I can say ya bakuri Bamwira emaka bakweta. Now, in 2021, body on the party, body Sarabanto fire all over the country. And the people boycotted against the PF. That's how you PND got an opportunity to come into power. Nobody Romwira, but what a Makakurando go at PF Naifwa. So, Yakuris Havinga. Now, problem Yakuris Havinga is part of those problems. So,
thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. I think you've made it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Queen Pumi, let me bring you in. Out of all the callers, no one has supported this Bill 7. And it is clear that our people are angry with the process. I think they can see through it. Let me answer some questions that were directed at me. Someone asked about that what's happening in West Africa. You know, I did an article where I've said the president is walking us into a dictatorship, something that will harm our country. I've said the president is a danger to national security himself. And I warned that what happened in Mozambique and Tanzania may likely happen in 2026 because you have governments that tampered with the electoral process, changed amendments, and barred candidates. And what resulted was violence, riots, and threats to national security in those countries. And I said, sadly for West Africa, those decisions to amend the constitution unilaterally or go to an election and steal that election by barring opponents or presidents going into third term resulted in coup d'etat, something we don't wish for our country. We have no history. We are one of the most peaceful countries in the world. You know, we have shown that we can change leaders peacefully and in a peaceable manner. the way we did in 1991, where an opposition leader won elections in Frederick Chiruba. In 2011, where an opposition leader won Michael Sata against Rupia Banda, where an opposition won in 2021 against Edgar Lungu, Hakainde Hichilema. But the path he has embarked on to remove his political opponents, by stealing the Patriotic Front, is an attack on our multilateral, multi-party character of our country, is an attack on democracy. And I said this path is dangerous. We are either going to Tanzania and Mozambique, or we are going to what is happening now in West Africa. And I urged the international communities, especially the international community that support us, don't come to try to make peace, invest in peace when we have peace now. Can we resolve this conflict before it spills over? Can we prevent it? All parameters are that will have a serious issue in the 2026 elections. Mali, this came up after an election. In some cases, presidents were winning up to 94%. Chad, Guinea, Sudan, Burkina Faso, Niger, Gabon, Madagascar. Madagascar, it was load shedding, which is a double issue with us. Load shedding caused a military coup in Madagascar. Guinea-Bissau. And this morning we had Benin. Benin has just passed through a Bill 7. The government has just passed a new constitution just last month. And there was uproar across the country. And this president ignored. Today there is a coup in Benin. This is not something we wish for our country. Our country is a one Zambia, one nation. One individual in President Hakainde Hichilema should not put us on a perilous path. I thought I could answer. I think there was another question attributed to me about the party, I think from Canada. We are trying very hard, my brother. We want to have a conference as soon as possible. The Council of Elders held a meeting yesterday. Another meeting was followed up. We are supposed to have a central committee as soon as possible. And we hope that we can have a new leader in January. We are as worried as you are. If the PF is not resolved, matters in PF are not resolved, it destabilizes the opposition and it endangers what the opposition would do together. So it's imperative that the matters in PF are resolved. Queen Pumi, let me leave you to answer your questions and contributions.
Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Wonderful show. Thank you for all the callers. Yeah, we are here deliberating, just putting our heads together on this developing story of a Bill 7, which is being pushed down the throats of Zambians. We are kicking and screaming. We don't want this Bill 7, but they are hell-bent on passing this bill. So what does this actually mean? Passing this Bill 7, what do we do as Zambians? What do you MPs do? There's a caller who called in from Zimbabwe, and they say the MPs should stay away. And I would like to echo that. MPs, please stay away from Parliament. Not only opposition MPs, even ruling MPs, because you are dealing with unstable government. I have to be politically correct. You cannot support a government who denounced Bill 10 and then they come and bring in the same Bill 10 and put 3 or 4 additional clauses, and they are pushing this bill with a bulldozer with everything they got. This is a sign of unstable government. You cannot support an unstable government. Why must you really sit down and think? MPs, whether all of you 156, why sit and think why it's dangerous for you to support this government? It is dangerous because number one, they are unstable. Number two, this bill will create a king. Number three, this bill does this government, UPND, they are very vengeful and they won't leave our enemy behind. Today you are going to be coaxed, pampered, given all kind of incentives to vote for Bill 7, but immediately that bill passes, you are going to be used and dumped. You are going in for proceeds of crime. Mark my words. We are going to see some of these MPs, God forbid, if this bill passes, we are going to see some of these MPs go in for proceeds of crime. The writing is on the wall. Look at what happened to people like Honorable Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, Ambassador GBM. Look, these people are people who work closely with the UPND. Look at what happened to them. So think, Imama UPND, are you going to be an exemption? Are you going to be an exemption? No, you won't. Because we know that UPND, they never leave an enemy behind. So this is a warning, a timely warning. This bill is taking away power from the people and consolidating to one person. If you look at this bill closely, it is not consolidating power to you, a MP. It's making you, a MP, vulnerable. It's making you MPs to be bootlickers. I don't care if you are in opposition or you are in a ruling. All MPs will become bootlickers to the president of the ruling party. I'm not wishing anybody dead. But lo and behold, if this bill passes and we have a different person other than by HH, that person will be the supreme power of UPND. All MPs will actually have to bootlick a president of UPND. So open your eyes, Zambia. Zambian MPs especially. You are, in fact, you are more of a target than us. Because those, especially in opposition, especially those 5 members of parliament from Eastern Province who have betrayed Edgar Lungu in death. Edgar Lungu is not even laid to rest. 5 MPs have taken, we have seen their names. They are on the list for the 3 million. In Sonie Wuntu by Eastern. How can you betray your own son of the soil? Nobody's preaching tribalism here. But I'm saying Eastern Province is where by Edgar Lungu Bafuma. Niko stronghold yabo. Bana ba munganda ba lungo bo mwachita betray. Even when you 5 MPs is really a shame. Shame on you. You are a shame and a disgrace. It is not an insult. It's just telling things how they are. The truth will set us free. We have to speak it. How do they say it? Truth to power. Tell the truth and shame the devil. This is where we are now. We are not going to mince our words. So it's a warning. My last closing remark is do not create a king, because this king you are creating, you will be the first ones to face the wrath. These people, they do not leave an enemy behind. Mark my words. Look at what happened to Kambwili. How can you keep a person in a prison at 286 BP over 134? My heart just broke listening to Kambwili. BP 286 at Yomure Kambwili over Mbale na Imo. The same Kambwili was put in a cell on H Soka. If it is not God who has preserved Kambwili's life, then I don't know. God bless you, Bachimba. Now, imwe bale milipi ya nempia. Elo ngataba milipi nempia ngani promise not tamwaka shimone. Let me tell you, you MPs who have been, maybe baba mishta promise na ponga taba mipela. Once the Bill 7 passes, you will not see it. And then they will come after you for proceeds of crime. How do you think you'll be different from the Lungu family whom they have even refused to bury their person? It's the same one and the same person you are dealing with. It's not a personal attack here. You have to be factual. Look at the facts and look at the pattern of somebody. So we are warning as I close. But Zambia police too, you also received this warning. By judiciary, you received this warning. And the members of parliament, because we shall hold you responsible. You are not immune from prosecution. Do the right thing. And the other thing, finally, I wanted to say is there was a caller who talked about let's rally behind Oasis Forum, and I just wanted to actually oppose that notion of standing behind Oasis Forum. It should actually be the opposition leaders should be in the forefront. Madam Betty Katebe, Beauty Katebe, she said it. She's like, well, opposition, come together. You know, this protest, it would have been easier if the opposition are the one who organized it and the opposition can just tell the government, no, we are not coming to the dialogue. We are coming to the dialogue after we protest. But you know, the Oasis Forum, Mudiwa bishops, Mudiwa evangelical, Mudi Christian Council of Zambia, these are highly respected men and women in our clergy, in our religion. So kuti chamoneka shani ama bishops ebali kuntanshi nama tia gasukula butuka ba police, all because the opposition are sitting there and doing nothing. No. The opposition are supposed to be in the forefront. And then our voices can come in between to mediate. Oasis should mediate between the ruling party and the opposition. Once one number because of by opposition in your complacency has even led by Oasis, Catholic Bishop Sukulava Tukana. Those insults are supposed to come to you. Maybe the more oppositions because we are the politicians. I'm insulted day and night. I don't care. Because apparently in Zambia, we have adopted insults as a mode of politicking. So I don't care. You can insult me all you want. But now we have this danger of where, because of this opposition, their complacency, by Mama Oasis, some bishops buying. So we have to fix this. We really have to fix this because you are the one to form government by Oasis. It's not a priest who's going to be sworn in as a Zambian president. No. So I am urging all the opposition to unite. This is the time. Otherwise, a popo to perere. We might as well forget about opposition. Tuka for even angunisho konono. Yo nation konono once we rally behind that strong opposition person who can stand there and oppose the ruling party. Because it's not fair. It is not fair that, you know, opposition, we can sit back and claim to be opposition. And now the Catholics are being insulted because they are doing the job of the opposition. The Oasis, they are supposed to mediate, you know, by the ruling party, by the opposition, chain to land. No, Baba, but Oasis say everybody kulanda the government. When they are supposed to mediate, it becomes, it's like we're getting nowhere. When everybody is polarized with the ruling party, we can't find a solution. You know, so in this situation here, we need the opposition to step up so the Oasis can be, you know, a peacemaker. Not nabe nababe nombabambia kulwa na government. Tuala perakwis. So that's the sad development.
Wonderful. The opposition must not renege on their duty, and you've spoken very well. Thank you, Queen Pumi. I'd like to thank you for joining my broadcast. And I would like to thank the many callers that have called. I think we need to get out of our laurels. We need to get out of our couches and our chairs in the living room and step up as Oasis Forum has called. Our country is being changed and is being changed forever. We have a duty to preserve our peace. We have a duty to preserve our... Oh, Queen Pumi, Father Donosco says he's calling and you people have to answer. Father Donosco. Oh, my. Father, not today is Salah. When you are live, I'm joking. You are allowed. Father Donosco from Italy, he has the VIP passage here.
Yes.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, this is Don Oscar calling from Italy.
Thank you very much for Pomolo. Thank you very much for Emmanuel Mwamba. I would like also to contribute. I've heard beautiful words from many people on this platform sympathizing with the church, which really we feel comforted and we are really humbled. I'm not the spokesperson. I'm not the spokesperson of the Catholic Church, but I speak personally. I speak personally. So I would love just to remind. I think.
We lost Father Donosco after giving him an opportunity. But he's a strong pillar, and he's a very strong voice. I don't know what has happened, but thank you very much. I know that he wants to stand with Oasis Forum. He wants to stand with the people of Zambia on the issue of the constitution. Queen Pumi, I think my duty is just to thank you. You've said your last words. Continue to fight. If you have a blog this evening, I'll also come and visit you at your blog because you broadcast later than me. So God bless you. Who joined you and my audience. If you still want this burning question, just shift to Queen Pumi's page. She's a late comer in the night while you have listened to all other broadcasts. So please let's migrate to her page as she continues with this battle. So tomorrow we have Aaron Ngambi, was featured on BBC the other day analyzing the issues of our country. He's a political analyst, geopolitical analyst. He writes various columns to Mail and Guardian, to the Must, and to News Diggers, and to UK newspapers like the Guardian newspaper in the United Kingdom. Tomorrow he'll be here, continuing the path of Bill 7 and the political status of our country. We'll be issuing out a flyer for him. Please join us tomorrow as we discuss. I'd like to thank Queen Pumi, Stumbeko Pomolo, who's leader of the New Era Democratic Party. Her and myself wrote to Sadiq, and Sadiq has responded. And I think we need to write to AU and EU on these matters. We just have to internationalize this matter, looking at how President Hakainde Hichilema is determined to proceed with this process. So God bless you and shalom, shalom.
Uyu mulungu nali mweba pakukumana waba Oasis Forum nakateeka kanshalikishe okumulondolwerako ikyatumbwike muli okukumana ukonanayine nasangibwe ukwali pamulando wakukunkanyako nefunde obuteeko bwayabikira mu nganda y'amafunde iyo batiila iyo 7 pamwe yakunkwa ku lubali lw'aba Oasis Forum abaleetila ilifunde obuteeko bulefwaya okupanga yaleeshuwa n'obupingushi bwakirye kikalamba kya Constitution Court n'olubali lwa buteeko bwaleetila tabuleleka mu kupanga ilifunde kwali okufirwana mu kyonkwano ndesubira mwali onkwa obuteeko abuti waleka okulankyanya nange okulanda n'aba Oasis Forum era n'aba Oasis Forum nabo abati tekuti bakonkanyeeko okulanda pakintu batiila kyali leshuwa kanshapa epaperede okukyolekana kw'aba Oasis Forum n'obuteeko pamulando wa Bill 7 kafire batiila umulendo mulemwe bati uyo ekilemba n'asasa awo bati awo yewo nteme n'okulya ngefwaya okulya n'okutampaatampa okulya kumwe batya ati ale lobe wikatiira takwali abanjebereko nga walwala mumala. None kwena
him representing government on the 30th of November 2025. I do not believe that dialogue is tenable when the underlying concerns remain unaddressed. Our concerns were and are as follows. 1. Illegality of the process. The current process is in breach of the orders of the Constitutional Court. Therefore, continuing the process based on Bill number 7, which the government insists on, is effectively rubber stamping Bill number 7, whose initiation the Constitutional Court declared a nullity due to a lack of mandatory broad public consultations in the framing of the proposed amendments. The report and ensuing bill from the wake of the Technical Committee will in itself be illegal. Number 2, lack of legal framework and independence. The work of the Technical Committee lacks a legal framework to ensure its independence and public accountability, risking undue executive influence over what should be a citizen-driven process. Number 3, restrictive terms of reference. The terms of reference unilaterally prescribed by the government restrict citizens' submissions to the same clauses in Bill number 7, effectively resurrecting an illegality, election-centered agenda, and precluding a holistic reform. Failure to withdraw Bill number 7. Despite the Constitutional Court nullifying the initiation of Bill number 7 of 2025, the bill remains before the National Assembly, further entrenching an illegitimacy process. Tying to the 2026 electoral timelines. Rushing the reform process by tying its timelines to the 2026 general elections compromises inclusivity and national consensus, diverting agents from critical immediate needs like the cost of living, water shortages, and employment. There is no justification in whatsoever why the supreme law of the land must be amended in a rushed manner, less than 30 days, as though there is no tomorrow. Dialogue outcomes, government intend to proceed. Despite presenting these profound, unresolved concerns, our dialogue, including the meeting with the President, has yielded nothing. The government remains bent on proceeding with the current illegal and flawed process and has refused to withdraw Bill number 7 from Parliament formally. We reaffirm our non-negotiable preconditions for any meaningful dialogue. 1. Bill number 7 must be formally withdrawn from Parliament. 2. A fresh constitutional reforms process must be commenced, supported by legal safeguards, and be genuinely inclusive, not rushed, and holistic. Should this be attended to by government, we remain available to return to the dialogue table. Now a call to action for all Zambians. The refusal by government to heed advice on withdrawing the illegal Bill number 7 or offering alternative legally sound options is a serious threat to the integrity of the Zambia's foundational law and may result in anarchy. The government's current approach demonstrates an apparent lack of interest in genuine, people-driven dialogue. We therefore call upon all Zambians to stand in defense of constitutionalism, the rule of law, and good governance. We only have one Zambia. The Oasis Forum will continue to use all available legal means and possible engagement of the international community to ensure that government withdraws Bill number 7, which threatens our national values and principles of democracy, as well as constitutionalism, good governance, and integrity. We urge the government of the Republic of Zambia to withdraw Bill number 7 immediately and commence a legitimate, transparent, and people-driven constitutional reform process where many
Malaiti na lelo kulibe Fertilizer farmers kwanisa Bati uzati kwenyu Sembe tenze tina zibati This is what you meant Kaleza sembe siti na vote Talema na boaba Talema na boza Basi eni baende tuone kovina Wenye wapaka Sweet talk Aisha Tifuna mariza utinoti mastori Hapa mvula ya kwa manji Mulimi sana fole Fertilizer yodulatiza gula bonji Apati enda kuma elections Muzani pasa exuze bwanji Ndabachi onekani napanga mistake Talema na boaba Talema na boza Basi eni maende tuone kovina Wenye wapaka Sweet talk Aisha Tifuna mariza usinoti mastori
Inokuya pa market mwe bantu ndefuwa ko fertilizer 750 yo kali ba fertilizer 750 njibe ba vice president je balandire
not enough time is Kwenyu ndemwe chabe
Thank you for the contribution. That was very good.
Mabanja onanjala mkomo Ndalama zonse mutumbalano Masukwa kuchuluka pa mutupatu Time is up, time is up Kwenyu not enough time is up For your lies and bluff time is up, time is up Kwenyu not enough time is up For your lies and bluff Kanizanu ndizo panda pindu Anakulira miseu mwatu Tikufuna chilengede chatopano Osati mapoke tanu opindika ndalama Listen to the cries, they're louder than your lies You can't silence the truth It's time for the youth, time is up, time is up Kwenyu is not enough, time is up For your lies and bluff, time is up, time is up Kwenyu not enough, time is up For your lies and bluff We rise, we stand, we fight together for the children For a better forever Kwenyu kunata pano We take the rain
we bring you guests that challenge the narrative, unveil what power hides, and spark national debate. Speaking truth to power, from the grassroots to the highest offices. EMV.